On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
Yeah, I kind of disagree with that. Yeah.
What?
Look at Kayla's face.
Hello?
They're quiet.
Island, that could be a thing. Hello? Save that as the on the soundboard, JR.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying
we don't get a lot of.
You know
things
what?
this is the first.
No.
I'm back.
Come here. Get over here.
It's just gonna start going into dangerous territories, and then people are gonna start thinking they can start asking me questions about my personal life and stuff. You know, so
I think she was just talking about if you was married, so it's just not anybody, but in marriage.
But that should be in relationships too. I don't think it should only be in marriage. What she said is a good point.
No, not relationships. In relationships,
no,
you don't have
women
limited access. You don't have
you
that.
You're reminiscing on the poll.
Well, this is why dating. This is why dating doesn't make sense.
And you're doting all this attention on the boy that you would normally dote on your husband or what have you, but you're doing all this for the boy, crippling him. So when he grows up, he looks to be, sucking on the ninny of the chick that he with instead of leading her.
Wait, so do you guys feel? I just have a quick question. If you relinquish some of these duties to your wives, or they wanted to take it over to bring less stress to you, do you feel like you're less manly if she takes over some of those duties, like she wants to? You guys feel like it'll be less manly of you?
Like what?
Is that why?
Yeah, I don't really feel like I'm less manly, but again, I think it comes down to options. Like, am I capable of doing it?
Yeah,
and I don't want to, then I can delegate it to you. But again, I'm hard pressed on livelihood. Any decisions they have to do with our livelihood, I'm gonna make. But anything in between then, it's cool. But I'm gonna know how to do everything though, just in case.
I think you should know how to do everything. Absolutely. I think JR kind of made that point earlier. Like there's a difference between not doing something because you don't know how and you're like, hey, you handle this, versus I know how, but I'm delegating, right? How do you decide, Trill? Like, do you delegate anything to your wife?
Again, like I just said, anything in terms of livelihood, I'm hard pressed on that. That's my responsibility. If a tire breaks down, I gotta change it. Somebody breaking the crib, I gotta defend it. Paying these bills, of course, as a man, you're supposed to pay more than your woman. Even if she is helping out, you're supposed to pay more than she is. That's just what it is.
I was asking if you delegated anything to your wife.
Right. What I'm saying is, say for instance, like whatever she's good at, like I said earlier, like she's good at creating, like decorating our crib. Right. Like I could decorate the crib, but if she wants to do that, then go ahead, boo. It's cool.
Are you good at decorating?
I am, ironically.
But you would delegate that to her because she's good at it.
For sure. She's passionate about it. That's what she like doing.
Kayla.
She's a creative.
Kayla, are there certain roles in a relationship or marriage that women shouldn't have control over?
Definitely in terms of like protection. That's the first thing that came to my mind. Like, something happens, I'm not going downstairs. No, I'm not going down there. However, that's an anecdotal situation, so I won't even bring that up. A friend of mine who was used to be a police officer, and obviously she has more gun experience than her husband, but that's so anecdotal, right? But yeah, when it comes to protection, for sure, I don't think that's ever a role that the woman should be in, unless, like I said, it's some anecdotal experience where you were in the army or you were in the police force and you have more weapons experience or something like that. But other than that, I don't think that's ever a role that women should have. Your man and if he doesn't know, because all men ain't from the streets. So if he doesn't know, he should go find out. He should go take some weapon safety classes. He should know where the weapon is in your home. He should know, he should control everything in terms of that. And if he doesn't know, he need to go figure it out. So that's one of the main roles, that the first thing that comes to mind in terms of a role a woman shouldn't have.
Here's a just quick question, Kayla. Would you date a man that didn't know how to use a gun or didn't know how to fight, but he was just a cool dude, like a solid dude?
I don't think she would know.
Listen, I grew up around guns. My dad has a lot of guns. My stepdad got a lot of guns. And I would prefer if you have some weapons training. And if you don't, then you can go and hang out with my stepdad and get some. He's ex-cop. So, and my dad is
ex-military. As long as he's willing to learn, he'll be
you gotta go hang out with my dad and my stepdad. And you gotta go learn. If you don't, I would prefer you already have it. But if you don't, they'll be very willing to teach you.
Interesting. Has everybody answered this question? It's a large panel tonight.
I didn't answer.
Okay, go ahead, Ameera.
I say that the women should not be in charge of finances and, God, it's going to be controversial, sex. I don't believe that women should be in charge of the sex as well. I don't think that women should be able to oh God, I don't believe that women should be able to tell the men when it's going to happen and when it's not. I believe as a wife, oh my God, the reactions from Trill and Anton. Okay, listen, just let me explain, okay? The reason I say this is because culturally, in my culture, the women are not supposed to ever say no when you're married. Well, we're married, of course. We don't believe in dating. So we're not allowed to say no in sex, and sexually, we're not allowed to say no. So I don't believe that women should be allowed to do that, because a lot of women, they use it as kind of a reward system towards the men. It's like, oh, if you do what I tell you to do, if you do whatever I like, then I will give you sex. If you don't, then you will not. So I do not believe that women should have control over finances and sex.
Wait, but you say you pay. So when, I guess the control thing, but what also the sex topic, do you think that women should initiate sex when in your marriage? Do you think that they should initiate?
Initiating is fine. What I meant is like saying no and having control over that. I don't think that we should.
Oh yeah, that's definitely understandable. I agree with that part, because you had to dig deeper a little bit into the sex part. But it's understandable.
JR, please.
That's kind of interesting. Kayla, y'all want to tell y'all thoughts about that? I like y'all kind of disagree with that. Yeah.
What?
Look at Kayla's face.
Hello?
They're quiet.
Island, that should be a thing. Hello? Save that as the on the soundboard, JR.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying
we don't get a lot of.
You know what?
This is the first.
No.
I'm back.
Come here. Get over here.
It's just gonna start going into dangerous territories, and then people are gonna start thinking they can start asking me questions about my personal life and stuff. So
I think she was just talking about if you was married, so it's just not anybody, but in marriage.
But that should be in relationships too. I don't think it should only be in marriage. What she said is a good point.
No, not in relationships. In relationships, you don't have unlimited access. You don't have that.
You're reminiscing on the poll.
Well, this is why dating doesn't make sense.